Is there going to be a recession? I don't know. The truth is, nobody knows. But it gets the people going, right? It gets the people excited and got them talking about the things they want to hear. So, since we do not know whether there will be a recession or not, I think it's always, always, always important to be financially prepared. Whatever may happen, whatever may come, you are ready, or as ready as humanly possible. So, I'm going to talk about the things that I am doing to prepare for a potential economic downturn. Whether or not we have a recession, I'm going to continue to do these things simply because this administration is going to be a wild ride, and I just want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row, all my eggs in a basket as safely as possible. So the first thing that I'm going to do, or that I have been doing, is to tremendously cut back on my expenses. I really was doing this in 2024 as well, but in 2025 I'm going to be a lot more intentional with it in order to set me up for much smarter and much better habits going forward into whatever the next 3 or 4 years may look like. And so for me, I am doing a low spend year and a no spend year on specific expenses. So I'm not buying any new makeup unless I am completely out of that specific product, which I am a makeup hoarder, so it's very unlikely that I'll be out of a lot of things that I need to replace this year. I am also not buying any new clothes or shoes. You've seen the videos before. I could give you a brief tour now. If I flip this camera over, I'm looking at about 50 pairs of shoes right now. I don't need any more shoes. I don't need any more items of clothing. I simply just don't even have the space, let alone the money to be throwing around for these things. It's just not a necessity. So that is going to be tamed this year. Outside of clothes and shoes and makeup, I am also following a lot stricter, a lot leaner budget, especially because I have a lot of new expenses that I simply can't cut, like a health insurance premium or an increase in homeowners insurance or car insurance. Those things I can't control as much as I would like. Of course, I can try to get the best price and negotiate and look around, but sometimes the rate is just the rate, and that is what it is. So I am operating on a much leaner budget to control the items that I can control. Outside of the low spend, no spend thing, I also went back to work. I have a traditional 9 to 5, although my business is doing well and does bring in enough money for me to sustain myself. I have always operated from a place of, I like traditional work. I like a traditional 9 to 5. I was a full-time entrepreneur for 2 years, from 2023 through 2024. Well, end of 2024. It was like literally exactly 2 years. And I love running my business and I love being an entrepreneur. But you know what else I love? I love having a steady paycheck come in every 2 weeks. I ain't gonna hold you. It is what it is. That is the reality of just how I navigate, how my anxiety functions in this world. And even though I do have a 9 to 5, with all the layoffs and things, and I am in the finance sector, and I've been burned by the finance sector before, the fintech sector specifically, I should say. So there is no, and we have seen, because even the safest of jobs has not been safe these last few weeks. But maintaining a 9 to 5 for as long as I can and making as much steady income as I can to supplement my business. And that leads me into essentially step 3, I guess, or 2.5, to maintain multiple sources of income. That has always been something that I have discussed. I have many, many, many videos. If you have not, I will put it right up here for you. I have over 500 side hustles that I have shared. I have so many different videos on passive income. I am not new to this. I am true to this. When I tell you, you need to have multiple streams of income, because at any time, one of those streams could disappear. It is what it is. So I was always very thankful that I had multiple streams of income set up in place, especially one that could take the place of my full 9 to 5 job. Because when I was laid off in November 2022, if I only had that income, I would have been struggling tremendously. So during this time in preparation of a potential recession, or even if the economy is doing amazing, I always stand by the fact that you need to have multiple streams of income, point blank period, at all times. Sticking to the 9 to 5 multiple streams of income pipeline, I am focusing on two things, but well, again, we'll say two things. Definitely, absolutely maintaining sharpened skills. And I say that because I mentioned in the video where I talked about going back to 9 to 5, and one of the things that I think really helped me do that was having a very strong portfolio. And to maintain a very strong portfolio, I need to make sure that I am staying on top of my game. The industry that I'm in moves really quickly, especially, in the social world. So marketing moves really quickly, and there's skills and new things and AI and all this evolution. I need to make sure that I am staying on top of my game, taking whatever opportunity to upskill that I can in order to keep that portfolio tip-top shape, top of mind. I have a 9 to 5 already, updating that portfolio so that whenever anything happens, I am prepared to hit the ground running. I like to be prepared. Another thing that I am, just keeping an eye on, I do already have it situated, is an emergency fund now more than ever, because it is taking people 6 months, 12 months to find a new job. The job market is no joke. And of course, networking is important. Your skills are important. Certifications, all of these things are so important. Jumping through so many hoops, and those hoops sometimes can take a long time. And I want to make sure that I'm able to keep food on my table and a roof over my head. And so the rule of thumb that has been shared across all types of financial spaces is to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses for myself in order to feel a little more relaxed. And I feel like I'm never truly relaxed when it comes to being prepared for anything. So I am leaning more towards a 9 to 12 month. I have 12 months worth of expenses saved because I do have a home, I do have a car, and all other things, and people who rely on me financially. So that for me makes me feel safe, makes me feel like I'm in a good space in case anything does happen. So you want to look at your expenses. You want to add, and I like to say look at your bare bones, right? So not the extravagant, the fun stuff, but look at the bare bone expenses that you have to essentially handle, and multiply that by 3. Multiply that by 6, multiply that by 12, whatever number you're going for, that is the number you want to have in your emergency savings fund. Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, thing that I think is super, super, super important is staying in community. Really, now more than ever, it is so important to either find your people or connect with your people, reconnect with your people. Your network is your net worth. You've heard it time and time again. It is so unbelievably important to check in with your friends and family, connect with them, go out with them. And that doesn't mean spend thousands of dollars, because going out to eat, pricey. It does mean, your community, really going to community events, community building, anything that puts you around other people that you love, that you can have conversations with, that make you feel safe, that make you feel comfortable, I think is unbelievably important at this time. And it really gives you the opportunity for when things do get tough or when things do get uncomfortable, you have some place or somewhere or someone to go to talk to. And adding like a bonus tip, if you can, therapy, highly recommend. I am back in therapy, and it works wonders when the world is on fire, everything's in flames. That's a poor choice of words given when the world is just not, supposed to be doing, it's acting up. You definitely want to have that community, that network, that therapist to turn to and that you are able to feel your best to get to the next day. That's what it's all about, right? Really just getting through, getting to the next day. And that is how I am preparing for a potential recession or potential financial downturn. Let me know in the comments, what are you doing? And I will catch you in the next video.